I've got everything pretty well set up around here. These guys should be fine for me to leave for a while and look for the treasure. It's gonna take a while. I already know this. But before we do any of that, why not listen to some messages from our friends in the comm station? Starting off with the ever lovely Mochi Miles. Hey B, I found something I was gonna throw out, but then I thought, hey, B likes old junk I don't need. I bet she would just love this. You can thank me later. Oh, I can fabricate ash plumes now. Thanks. B, if there's one thing I know about the kind of solitary explorer life you're living, it's that you can't have enough reminders that your friends are thinking. So, here's a reminder. In the form of a gift. Let it remind you of me and all our good times together. Ciao, B. Oh, thank you for the emerald shrubs. I will go put those outside. And the enigmatic Bob. I love the hat, by the way. Bob is styling. Hello, fellow human. Has gifts for you. Yay, we chickens? I can fabricate short magma clumps now, thanks. Thanks, Bob. Appreciate it. Okay. Ember Valley. Okay, we're starting the timer now. Let's find out how long this takes. Okay. So we're gonna be incredibly thorough here. About as thorough as I can possibly be, because I want to find this treasure pod. I really do want to find this. So, make sure I'm settled and comfy for the long haul here, because I don't know how long this is going to take. Let me make sure I have my map pulled up so that I can refer to that. So I know where we've already found the other ones. Okay, we're gonna take this one landmass at a time, one section at a time. So, up here, is there anything around this side? I don't see anything around this little chunk of area. I've checked up here, it's not up there. I'm gonna go over this way. I'm gonna check around here. I don't see it up here at all. I'll take a brief sweep around that way and just see if there's anything there. Okay, anything over here? I don't see anything over there. I want to make sure I don't go too far out, because then I won't be able to get back. I'll fall into the slime sea, and then we'll have to do our ranch upkeep sooner because of the time skip to recover from being knocked out. So I don't see the treasure pod anywhere on this landmass. So I am going to declare this landmass completely free and clear of any treasure pods, because they don't usually put treasure pods up on like really hard to reach places. They usually have the treasure pods in relatively accessible locations, and that's generally a little too far out of the way, I think. Never found a treasure pod that far out of the way. So, next we will account for this one. There is a treasure pod that we have already found in here. We've marked this. We don't even have to think about it. We got one there. Are there any other ones hiding around out here? Don't see anything in that direction. Make sure I have enough energy to come back. I've checked around this entire pillar and have not seen any treasure pods, so we will discount that area as well. For the same reason as that other one. I do want to check out in this direction a little bit. Don't see anything over there. Okay. We're taking this slow and easy because I want to be able to make absolutely sure that we've looked everywhere. I don't want it to be something where we've not 100% checked an entire area and thus we can't really say for sure. We need to be eliminating areas because I looked around this entire map in a general sense and could not find the last treasure pod. So now we need to crack down and get more thorough with it, because this final treasure pod, finding one treasure pod out of 24 that are scattered throughout this entire area, it's a lot of treasure pods. So we're just going to cover this one side of one area at a time. Taking the left side of this little opening area. I'm looking around to see if we spot anything. I'm not getting into the whole tide pool area yet. Or those ancient ruins looking place. I'm gonna look around back here. Don't see anything back here. Is there anything up top? Don't think there would be. This seems a little farther out than I would expect them to put a treasure pod. That's the problem, is we don't know where it is, so we don't know the full capability of what's possible. That's the neat thing about proof, is that you can never 100% disprove anything, because as soon as anything contradicts your disproving of something, the disproving means nothing, because there is then, you know, proof. So we can never really fully disprove anything in the sense of the word. The best we can do is operate on some highly educated assumptions and expectations. It's about the best we can do. So yeah, up in these cliff areas, this is outside of what is usually expected, I would think. I mean, they have made it so it's traversable. There's not much detail up here. So this is not an area that I would consider to be part of standard gameplay, which is where all of the other treasure pods have been so far. All the other treasure pods, I can pretty safely say, have been in areas that, you know, most casual players would generally be expected to at least have access to without needing to be too precise with, you know, jetpacking or getting the absolute most height out of every single jump possible, or different, like using the terrain that specifically. Okay, I'm just gonna take this one area at a time. I'm not gonna go into the caves yet, because that leads into a whole other, you know, branching area. We'll circle back. circle back to that area later. Just want to take a fly around of this area because I'm suspicious of some of these higher ledges potentially hiding something. It would be pretty neat if there was some sort of pad that you could have that would let you recharge your energy more quickly. So we're going to be doing a lot of jetpacking, and I mean a lot of jetpacking. So, having to wait for our energy to come back is also going to be a piece of this whole exploration puzzle. Don't see any treasure pods up this high. I am suspicious of that broken pillar though, especially since there's grass up there. I'm gonna just take a quick peek over here. I might break away from the thoroughness occasionally just to check areas that have reasonable suspicion like this. There's a radiant ore all the way up there on that pillar. Nifty. But not what I'm looking for. There's another treasure pod that we've already found. So many different nooks and crannies to check. I'm honestly really just hoping that they kept this reasonable. Didn't go overboard with having the last treasure pod in this area being really far out of the way or something. Now, jetpacking is not going to solve all of our problems. It's not going to let us check all of the different possible locations, because sometimes there are little nooks and crannies like down here. We have to check them, because there are some times where it's just that simple. Within one little area off to the side, just in like the main path, just barely tucked away. That's as much as it needs to be not entirely obvious to the eye. So I feel pretty comfortable saying that this whole starting area is clear. Obviously not counting the caves yet, because we haven't checked those. But I will say, for what we've checked so far, I feel pretty confident that there isn't anything, further hiding. So, let's get a little bit of height here. Take a look around here. Pop this open, I guess. There's another treasure pod. Then we've got the one over there. And one thing we have to remember about the treasure pods is that they can be very close to each other as far as the map is concerned. Like, there are cases where two of the treasure pods in the Starlight Strand, as far as the map is concerned, are almost literally stacked on top of each other on this map. But in a three-dimensional space, horizontally, yes, the treasure pods were almost directly on top of each other. But as far as the vertical space, they were vertically in pretty different spots. So I have to bear that in mind too when I'm referring to my map over here. My map only gives a general idea of, hello there, welcome on in. Let me get my window up here. Did you find it yet? No, I have not found it yet. We're taking this slow and steady because I don't want to take any location for granted at this point. But hello, welcome on in, Tune. How are you doing today? Yeah, I'm definitely taking my time with this. I am going to scour every area just to make sure that we're not leaving out any particularly obvious nooks and crannies in our search for literally the final treasure pod. I don't want to be bamboozled by this thing forever, so I feel pretty confident that this area, at least on the lower level, has nothing else to offer. Taking care of chores, Christmas shopping, etc. Man, Christmas shopping in the middle of October, like, it just does take that long, doesn't it? But better to get it out of the way early than to have to rush at the end, right? Especially if you have to get things shipped. Let's see. Yeah, I feel pretty confident that the treasure pod is not in this area. I'm gonna look at all the different ledges and things. Everything that's within what I would expect to be generally a generally reachable area for players is accounted for, I'll say. I see no reason to doubt it. Yeah, we're gonna move on. We're gonna start heading into this back area where all the caves and stuff are. So, first thing I would like to do is go over here. We have that treasure pod down there, I know about that one. We have a treasure pod down there that I've gotten, and a treasure pod up here that I've gotten. I'm gonna make sure, just in case I'm being silly. No, okay, I've got it. I just really have to make sure that I actually went and opened the treasure pod and didn't somehow forget to open it, because that would be kind of unfortunate too. I'm putting in all this effort to look around really carefully for a treasure pod that I have already found, just haven't opened. That would be awfully silly of me. Okay. First thing I want to do... Hey, Cruise Control, welcome on in. How are you doing? We are on the hunt for a treasure pod, the last one, in fact, for this entire area, and thus everything that's in early access, I believe, as far as the in-game checklist tells me. This area always baffles me, because it just seems like this whole area is here. It feels like there should be something else here, like some sort of hidden collectible. You're just about to get on VR chat? Yeah, I've thought about playing VR chat, but I don't have any VR equipment, so I feel like some part of it, like some fundamental part of the experience, would be somewhat lost on me. So now that I do have a better computer, I have considered at least trying the game even without the VR equipment, just to actually, you know, try it out. I've been curious about it for a while. Yeah, I have thought about even just playing the desktop mode like you're saying. Just haven't I haven't done it yet. Is there a treasure pod out here? I don't see one. Really want to make sure that I'm not missing anything here. I'm gonna look around this side. There's nothing over here. Nothing hiding on a lower ledge or something, as far as I can tell. Back in. Recharge my energy. There's a treasure pod that we already got up there. So like you can see treasure pods from all the way over here. Like these things are relatively visible, even from a distance. I think that's another one that we had found before. I look at where that's pointing like right there. Let me look at the map here. Let me look at my little charted map here. I think so. Maybe. I think I might be able to see that one from here, but we can definitely see that treasure pod, which we've already gotten. So that should give you a pretty clear idea of how visible these things can be, especially in the nighttime, where their general shininess is a little more obvious. Just boggles my mind that there isn't a treasure pod up here at all. I've scoured this whole area and there's not a single treasure pod. And it seems like such a prime candidate location. I don't know. I guess the treasure pod is somewhere else. I do want to take a look at these ledges though. Because here's the other thing. There's this little area behind the waterfall. So there's like this whole little alcove. It's got this nice little lava pool, and I think that's supposed to be like, oh, the little spring that's up above us right now. Right there. Is being, you know, heated by this, so that's kind of like a hot spring up there. And it's like, that seems like a pretty cool thing. But like, other than that, this room doesn't actually serve a mechanical purpose. Because you can't place any gadgets in here, there's no collectibles, I haven't seen any resources in here like radiant ore or anything. By the way, thank you for the follow, Cruise Control. I appreciate it. You do end up playing VR chat, I could show you around? Yeah, that'd be cool. I'll have to look into that some more, because it's been a while since I've thought about been into VR chat, so I guess I'd have to do a little bit of research to kind of get my bearings before I just jump straight into it, because that's the kind of person I am. I like to be at least a little prepared for a new thing I'm gonna jump into. I've uploaded avatars to the game. Yeah, that's something that seems kind of interesting too, is the whole avatar and roleplay aspect of it for people who like that sort of thing. Some people do serious roleplay kind of stuff. Other people, you know, a lot of what I see is usually just people memeing around, and that's great. I'm glad that there are places for people to do that sort of thing. It's nice to just have a place where it's like, yeah, you don't really have to worry too much about taking things seriously here. We have a bit of fun. We do a little bit of trolling. Not seeing any treasure pods here. This area's just got several different spots that feel like they would be perfect locations for treasure pods, but nothing ever pans out to actually have one. Like, behind the waterfall, behind any of these waterfalls, they could have put a treasure pod. They just absolutely refused to do so. And I don't know why. I'm gonna take a look around down there, but I need to make sure that I can come back up. So there's this whole area down here, but that doesn't have a treasure pod. So I'm really wondering if there's like another cave entrance somewhere down here that I'm just overlooking. Because I've been down there, that's a different connection to a different cave area. We'll get to that. But I have been down there, so. Okay. I think my stream just dropped for a second there. Not sure what that was about. It just kind of happens sometimes, I guess. But I don't see any treasure pods down there at all, so I guess I'll dip down into that little cavern area here just to kind of show we've already gotten this one. This is the one that I just checked recently. Make sure that I had actually opened it. So we've accounted for that one. Need to just ride this geyser up real quick. Excuse me, pardon me. Alright, I think we're going into the caves now. We're gonna go around from this way because I want to keep some level of continuity to my search. I want to make sure that I'm not missing anything obvious. Especially considering that we need to go to where the Tabby Gordo was, just to confirm that area in its entirety is free and clear of any pods potentially containing treasure. My energy to replenish here. Okay, let's see, is there anything out there? I don't see anything in that direction. I know there's a treasure pod down there that we already got. I would like to go down actually here. Just make sure there's nothing underneath here. Okay. Don't see anything down below us yet. Not leaving until I've taken a full look around. Okay. See anything below us here? Just open these up for the heck of it. Okay. I don't see anything here. I'm gonna head down here. Just take a quick look around. Okay, I don't see anything down here either. Okay. Feel confident calling this area clear. So now, take these with me, I guess. Now, let's go ahead, head down here. There's no cave opening behind this waterfall or anything. Treasure pod is not hidden here as far as I can tell. No physical object that gets in my way or anything. So, let's head into the caves and wrap back around. Check this field area and all that sort of stuff. We're gonna check every nook and cranny because I want to find this treasure pod. Whatever it takes, we're finding this treasure pod. Getting a little seismic / volcanic activity, but that's fine. That's happened before. There's radiant ore. Great. Love it. Not picking it up right now, but love it. Okay, so we're back out here. So now what I'm going to do is wrap back around this way. Because we need to go to the caves that are over here. Check them. Any possible sign of a treasure pod? A fruit tree in there. I didn't know there was a cuberry tree hanging out in here. I might have to take a quick look-see in here. Make sure there's no cheeky treasure pod or anything. I see no treasure pods here. Let's head into the cave. See if we can find any treasure pods that we haven't already accounted for. I know there's at least one treasure pod in here that we have already accounted for. It was one that I had overlooked last time. And by the way, there's nothing back there in that little area. Not only is it kind of scary and difficult to get to, just because you're very close to the water, and if so much as a little pixel of your body touches that, you immediately are knocked out and sent back to the ranch. So I don't go messing around with that. There's also nothing actually back there, so there's no reason to go there. Okay, so this one area is clear here. Go back here. There's nothing at ground level. Here's a treasure pod that I had overlooked that we found last week. Completely overlooked that this one was here. So we did end up finding that, which is good. But on the other hand, there is no treasure pod here. And then we found one up here. Right there. So we've accounted for that one as well. Here's the thing, I've marked 23 out of the 24 treasure pods on a screenshot of the map. So I know where 23 of the 24 treasure pods are. It's just a matter of finding where the last one is. Because, oh boy, exploration is tricky sometimes. Sorry, I just had to check something there. Let's see, we need to go this way. Yes. Get up here, good, good. Just kind of want to head over this direction. What I'll do is I will come out the other side of where this cave is right here. So this is the room where we had these boom slime statues. We're just gonna continue our search from here. Is there anything out here? I see nothing out here. We will continue our search further into this area. Ooh, strange diamond. Yeah, let's take that. That is a nice find. Not many of those. So even if we somehow don't find this treasure pod, at least we've gotten a relatively rare resource out of the whole endeavor. Let's see, got this one. So that one's accounted for. Is there anything else out here? I see nothing out there. Treasure pods. So, checked up there. There's nothing up there. Where else? Let me double check over here. See the radiant ore, but that's not what I'm looking for here. Okay, we're at least narrowing down the search. Okay, now we're back to here. So I feel pretty confident that in this basically half of the area, I feel pretty confident that there's nothing else here for us to find. I'm just taking a look at that picture of the map that I have that I've marked up. That accounts for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 treasure pods. Just in this whole area from like orange containing this green area up here. That's 13 treasure pods out of 24 for the whole area. So that leaves only 11 more treasure pods to account for, 10 of which I have marked on the map. Let me just double check and make sure that's accurate. Seeing 24 circles on my map, that's concerning. Hi Bless, how are you doing? I need to count these out. Hold on. Something's going on, I swear. I swear, there's 24. 1, 2. 11, 12. No, there's 23 on here. There's 23. I don't know where my brain was counting an extra one, but that had me scared for a second. How are you doing, Bless? Oh no. Okay. Okay. So we've accounted for all of those. I'm just taking a look at the map to make sure that I've found all the ones I found before. Okay. Yep. It's not the sound you clicked on? Oh no, which one did you click on? Because according to sound alerts, that is the one you clicked on. I don't know what to tell you. I can't see where you clicked. I'm not in the same room as you. Oh, that's the sound you clicked on. That would make a lot more sense. It was a really well-timed Curb Your Enthusiasm theme, though. Me just being like, wait, are there 24 circles on my map? Boom, 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 boom. It's like, oh no, did I do an oopsie whoopsie? And no, I think we're all good. As far as, you know, accounting for all the ones that I've already seen. Bog brain, my brain has been offending me all day. Offending you? Dang, what's your brain doing to you, Bless? You okay? You good? Your brain has been offending you. Oh man, okay, let's see. Hello, Radiant Ore. Welcome to the party. I'm just gonna take a quick, a quick peek around. I'm gonna take a quick peek around. See if we can find this treasure pod. Oh bless, oh no. It just, I can already feel the day getting ready to pile up. It's like I messed up a Rice Krispie recipe, and then this Bible verse that was very morbid and scary. It was like, okay, probably another abstract thing I'm not getting. I mean, fair enough. Oh no. Okay. Still surprised that there's not a treasure pod down here. Like, I would have thought they would put a treasure pod down here. No, they didn't. There's no treasure pod. Okay. So this is an area where height is definitely welcomed. I was just mixing up lightness and darkness. Yeah, that happens sometimes. Okay, we've accounted for this treasure pod. It's this one. I'm just looking at the map. I'm looking at my markup map because I need to be so on the ball for this. I need to find this treasure pod before I lose my mind. I'm on a 4-hour countdown before I lose my mind. It kept saying darkness has won, and that couldn't be right. I just kept staring at it because it didn't make sense. I think a very long nap's in order at some point. Fair enough. I mean, that does sound... It might be a good idea. Is there no treasure pod here? That looks like a perfect cranny to have a treasure pod. Like, why wouldn't you have it right there? That's a perfect location. So many perfectly good spots in this entire area that are like, they have a whole oasis. An entire oasis on top of the mountain. No treasure pod. Who does that? Who does that? Where is this treasure pod, dude? I know we haven't thoroughly searched every single area yet, but I'm already starting to feel a little bit like, where is it? I'm gonna call an ultimatum here. I really cannot find this treasure pod after an entire 4 hours, which I highly doubt is gonna take quite that long. I hope it doesn't take that long, because I will start losing my mind if it takes that long to find. If we somehow go through the entire 4 hours of stream not finding it, I probably will concede and, you know, possibly at least ask for a hint. Try to find a hint without there being a direct spoiler, like, oh, here's where it is. More so like, here's an idea of where to look. Like, if I could just... That's why I'm wanting to search really thoroughly here, is I want to narrow this down by area, so that it's like, okay, I've searched this entire area, so I feel pretty confident it's not... I don't have to come back to this location to look for anything. Otherwise I can Google and give very vague hints. Would you do that, Bless? I know you're playing the game too when you got the chance, but I don't want you to spoil it for yourself if you don't want to. So that's totally up to you. I can live with my own consequences of whatever I choose. But I don't want you to feel like you have to potentially compromise your experience if you Oh, yes, fire slimes. I forgot I need these guys. I wanted more of them because I was running behind on fire slimes. I wouldn't remember the specific one. I do not have big brain like that. Well, I suppose if if you're okay with it, maybe here's what we'll do. Here's what we'll do. At the 2 o'clock mark, how about that? After, you know, 2 hours of stream, we will. I'll be ready for a vague hint. So I guess I have to figure out like how vague of a hint I want while we're also searching here. You've mapped out the ones you found. Send me the map. I shall compare. Okay, yeah, I have the map here. I can send that real quick. Because yeah, it should be. Yeah, double check that I counted right, because I'm pretty sure I've got 23 circles, not 24. But something tells me hopefully that's not wrong. But this should be up to date, and this should be. So just ignore the 22 out of 24 in the corner. That was from when I took the screenshot. Each yellow circle should be pretty much centered on where I found a treasure pod. Should be 23. We're only missing the 1 out of 24. So yeah, I appreciate it, Bless. You are doing a huge favor taking a look at this. Oh, come here, fire slimes. I need you guys. I'm just gonna grab a bunch of them because I don't remember how many I need. I think I needed 12, but I have 11 now, and I've already brought back 1. I have 5, so I think I've got enough. Also, I'm gonna deposit this diamond so I don't accidentally lose it somewhere along the way, because depending on how long I end up looking for this treasure pod, I'm already gonna be losing it. I'm Detective Bless. Let's see. I'm just gonna start taking a look around here. Let's see if we can find a treasure pod. Oh boy. Looking for treasure. Oh boy. Hope we find some goodies. I hope it's a what am I thinking of? A market link. So that I can set those up so I can sell plorts from anywhere in the ranch. That would be really, really nice. I would love to be able to sell plorts from any ranch expansion. That would be great. I would love that a lot. You're supposed to log on and find it immediately though? I know. This is the thing. It's like it could have gone one of two ways. Either I would have gone on here and immediately found it. Like immediately found it in some super obvious location that I just forgot to look in for one reason or another. Or it was gonna take a while, and it seems like we've gone for the taking a while route. Because how long have we been looking? I actually have a stopwatch up for this. We've been looking for 46 minutes already. 46 minutes just covering from here, like this whole area from like where this orange divides the map, everything north of it. Now we're getting into this area. 46 minutes just to find this one treasure pod. Here we go. Bonk. Where else? Where else? I'm just gonna keep skirting around the right side of the area because I don't want to miss it because I decided to, you know, cross back over to the other side arbitrarily. Okay. Check out here. I don't see it on this ledge. So how about we get up here so that I can get some more height? Let's check around this side. Don't see it here. It's not around this backside. Get up here so I can get most height possible. This whole area too. Like, what is this whole area? There was no treasure pod here. Search this whole area. There was no treasure pod here either. Like, where on earth could they possibly be hiding this treasure pod that I haven't already been? So interesting how we've managed to miss this treasure pod this entire time. I wonder where it is though. Like, I'm really curious with how long it's taken me to find it. I wonder if it is in a like really devious spot, or if it's one of those types of things where it's just in a certain spot that I just hadn't looked in yet. Because I feel like the game's probably been out for long enough now that people have made, you know, collectible maps where it's like, here's where all the treasure pods are in such and such area. Like, here's all the treasure pods for Ember Valley, here's Starlight Strand, here's Rainbow Fields. Heck, I wouldn't even be surprised if someone made a map for all of the different drone locations. All of these little, like, all these little archive logs that are in these little drone dudes, those guys there. I'd be surprised if someone made a map of all the locations for those guys too. Would not surprise me. That's the thing, Bless, is like, it can't be in the middle of the ranch though. It can't be there because this is 23 out of 24 for the Ember Valley. Each area has its own specific counter in the lower right. So I maxed out 24 out of 24 for the Starlight Strand. I can't remember exactly how many it was for the Rainbow Fields. Don't like how there's grass up here. The fact that there's grass up here makes me immensely suspicious. But yeah, the conservatory, the whole ranch, has no... it doesn't have this. It doesn't have this on it whenever I'm there. Otherwise, yeah, they did have a couple of treasure pods on the ranch in the first game, which is what made me initially suspicious of that area. Going into somewhere like Rainbow Fields, having this little thing show up on the map, that gave me some hope that it's like, oh, okay, we're not gonna need to be, you know, searching the ranch for some like unmarked treasure pods or anything weird. Like, where could this treasure pod be? Because this is getting way out of the way here. This is incredibly out of the way, and it just stops. There's nothing else here. Yeah, that's fine, just lava. I feel like the hitbox on that lava is a little generous in the lava's favor, but that's fine. I failed to finished my Fortnite match and I can begin detective work. Okay, yeah, I mean, Fortnite was being a little rude to me a couple nights ago as well, because you know, there's those quests that you have to do sometimes in Fortnite where it's like, oh, you have to, you know, interact with a certain object for a certain amount of time, and I'll go try to do that, but I will have, you know, someone hound me as I'm dropping all the way to the object I'm supposed to interact with, and then just, you know, finish me off before I even have a chance to do the mission. And it's like, it takes 10 seconds to interact with this object, and now I have to wait even longer, get into another match to try and get my 10-second interaction again. Pourquoi? There needs to be a sign just missioning. That's what that's the thing, is like, there's no real way to like denote that in the game. That's tough. Also, Twitch is gonna run an ad here. Yep, it just went. Of course. Viva La Dirt League made a couple videos about exactly that. Yeah, it's like, man, wouldn't it be great if there was something? No, I don't know. It's a mixed bag. It really is a mixed bag in its own special way. Welcome back to everyone who's coming back from the ad break. Sorry about the late notice on it. I just noticed that it was going off, and I managed to say something right before the ad popped off, so I'm trying. Some people will duck really quickly to indicate peace. Yeah, it's like, I guess it's one of those things where there are certain levels of communication you can try to do. I feel like different positions are definitely, certain positions are definitely more advantageous for one side's communication than the other. Like, one person can kind of afford to communicate more effectively without putting themselves at great risk as a result of it. For example, I did have someone in one of my matches who was kind enough to let me like ride in their vehicle. Like, they've pulled up next to me. Like, I'm usually, whenever someone drives by, I try to put, you know, like a rock or some other solid object between me and them so they can't just like plow through me. And you can usually tell when they're the friendly sort, because they'll like pull up, they'll kind of stop, and they'll honk the horn at me. If you've got a vehicle, you've got a bigger health pool, kind of afford to risk a communication with people and not just get immediately, you know, destroyed by gunfire. But I feel like I was making my my missioning pretty clear with the that interaction quest, because I was literally, all I was doing at the start of a match was dropping to one of two locations where I can interact with this object and immediately going straight for the object. So, not picking things up along the way, not looting, literally only going straight for the object I need to interact with. People still just came up and blasted me just because. So that was fun. Yeah, people take advantage of people questing. That's the other thing too, is if you make it too obvious that you're questing, people who aren't playing nice will take advantage of that if given the chance. So it is really a mixed bag of how passively you want to try to play it, because if you play it too passively with the wrong people, then you end up with a situation where you you end up on the wrong end of a shotgun. So yeah, there are both types in Fortnite for sure. There are the type of people who see you just running along, running to the next circle to stay out of the storm, and will offer you a ride. And this person was even nice enough to, you know, get another vehicle once we got to like a gas station. They went into another vehicle and left me with the one that they had already been using because it was, you know, lower on fuel and I assume health at the time. But they just like dropped me off and they went and got another vehicle, and we both just, you know, we just drove into the circle after that and just never saw each other again. But then you also get the people who are like, I know this is an area where people are probably going to drop and try to do their quests really quickly. And let's just grab the people who are doing that. Let's just get some easy kills. And I mean, fair enough, fair play to them. They are taking contextual information and utilizing it well in terms of seeing success at winning the game, surviving to be the final person at the end of the match. You just eliminate some of your competition right out the gate. At the same time, for someone like me who's not really too worried about the winning side of things per se, but just wants to get the quests taken care of, not so easy to do that when every time I try to do the quest, I am harassed at the immediate beginning of the match when I'm trying to do specifically certain quests, and it's like, fun. I wish I could do quests, but oh well. Guess I don't get to quest today. I did eventually get that quest, but I had to wait until there were like, what, 20 people left in the entire match, because the area I dropped to get this interaction, get the object interaction, it was busy for like 3 minutes straight. There was gunfire just around my area as I just kind of tried to wait for it to blow over so I could literally cross the street to interact with this object. The objective was across the street for minutes on end, and I could do nothing about it if I wanted to survive. Actually interact with the objects. It's just like so like, it's fun in a certain way, but also I just want to go do my mission, please. Oh, I got it done though. I got it done. I don't know how many stages there are to this quest, because it's like one of the big, long-running character-based quests, so I'm sure there's going to be like 20 different phases to it. I've only done like 4 of them, but I'm making some progress on it at least. And at least the next mission I have to do with it is not too difficult, I would say. Yeah, I'm doing all the bites missions. So yeah, interacting with TVs is a bit of a pain sometimes, because some of the TV locations are way out in the open. They're like, you have no cover. They're just straight up out in the open in like a building with an open front, like windows all over it, and people could just shoot you from anywhere. The next quest I'm working on for bites is I need to drive a certain amount of distance in a chrome splashed vehicle, like in a chromed vehicle. I feel like that shouldn't be too hard. I just need to find a chrome splash at, you know, like a town. Just find a vehicle, splash it, and just start driving. That's pretty straightforward. Honestly, that one, at least driving around in a chromed vehicle is easier and a little more passively doable versus the quest that came immediately before it. Because just having to do damage with the chrome weapons, which I'm not a huge fan of either of them, to be honest. Having to do a certain amount of damage with those was it was a task. It was a task for sure. But definitely driving around in a chrome vehicle is going to be a lot easier for me than get 2,500 damage with chrome weapons, with like the evil chrome weapons. It's like, I don't want to. I'm not a fan of the burst rifle, and I'm not a huge fan of the flat spread on the chrome shotgun. They're just not my type of weapons, so the quest was harder for me than it probably is for certain other people. Like, bless you, saying you prefer the chrome weapons, so more power to you. That quest was definitely easier on you than it was on me, because oh boy, I am not a huge fan of burst rifles. There's a reason I run the hammer assault rifle now. That works out for me. It does enough. It's good enough for close range or, you know, mid-range encounters that I don't feel like I'm missing out too much. I don't know why, but the Ranger rifle just does not work for me personally. I think it's lacking fire rate. I think that's its problem for me. Used to like the Ranger assault, but it's not as accurate anymore. Oh, interesting. I would have thought that it would be accurate because it's specifically made for the purpose of being, you know, a particularly ranged weapon in terms of the rifle class, but I suppose that's what happens when we make assumptions. But yeah, hammer assault rifle has pretty easily won me over by this point. I do love the Cobra DMR though. I will say the hunting rifle is pretty nice too. As long as I'm using as long as whatever sniper I'm using isn't just a single shot and then you have to reload it entirely, I'm usually okay with it. I'm not a fan of, you get one shot with this weapon and if you miss, it's reloading time. I wanna have at least a few different attempts at my target before I have to reload. So DMRs work pretty well for that. Cobra DMR is pretty nice. As far as shotguns go, I still don't have a super clear grasp on which ones I prefer. But I know that I'm not a huge fan of the Ranger shotgun. because I like having multiple shots available to me. Like I said, with the range, with the ranged weapons, I said that it's true of the shotguns too. I do think the auto shotgun is a little too weak on firepower, and the spread is too wide for me. I'm not a fan of the auto shotgun, but I'll use it if I need to. Like, if it's the only shotgun available, I'll take it, just to have something for close range. But I usually prefer, I guess the prime shotgun's a pretty good option. Just to be able to just to have that first shot really mean something. It's pretty nice, because if I can get close enough to somebody and have them like being distracted enough, that also in final battles when I'm down to like just the last few people, prime shotgun has come in clutch for me. So it's won my favor for sure. Trying to think of where else this treasure pod could possibly be, because I don't know basically any other location that I haven't already looked in. Like, we've been up here, we've gotten that treasure pod. Be consulting my map again soon to see if let me look at my map, see if there's any other ones that I have accounted for that I've missed along the way, because I found those, that one and that one and that one. So yeah, I've refound every single other treasure pod that I have already accounted for. I just found you're missing one on the map. On the map? Or like, I'm blind and I just missed it. Because I'm willing to believe either one at this point. I could seriously just be overlooking it. But I don't see it around here. I didn't see it on your screen. Okay, I just wanted to double check. Just had to make sure. Because at this point, since I've been searching for over an hour, I'm willing to believe that I just straight up overlooked it by total accident at some point. And it's just actually in front of my face and I'm, you know, blind. Can you show me again where you are, just for my own devious pleasure? Sure, bless. Sure, I'm right here. This is where I am. Feels really weird. I haven't been able to find any treasure pods in either of these very suspicious locations. Got nothing marked on them on my map. Particularly this entire area over here. You know, over here, this whole entire island, completely separate from everything else. A very good place to hide a treasure pod. But it just doesn't exist, I guess. Not in there. Yeah, no problem, bless. No problem. I mean, we still got about half an hour before it's super vague hint time. Okay, I guess here's what I'm thinking. So I'll describe in more detail what kind of vague hint I will be looking for once we actually get to 2 o'clock. I have an idea for the criteria that I'm willing to allow myself in terms of receiving a hint. So we'll get to that in about half an hour. That still leaves me about half an hour to look around and see if I can spot anything. Because I do want my first hint to be relatively vague. I don't want to, I'm glad you have an idea. I'm actually awful at coming up with hints. Well, fair enough. Sometimes it is hard to know when you know something. Sometimes it is hard to know what will end up being too much and giving it away. So at this point, I'm just going for height. I'm just going to go up here. I'm just gonna take a nice little scouting flight and take a look around, because I have nowhere else to look at this point, because I feel like I've looked a lot of different places. Obviously, I haven't looked in the one right place. That's the thing. Any place that isn't where this treasure pod is where the treasure pod isn't. I was hoping to be able to deduce where the treasure pod is by narrowing down where the treasure pod isn't. But clearly I have not done a good enough job of that, because I have not found the treasure pod yet. At this point, I'm just banking on it being out in the open and I can actually see it from here. I don't see how that's gonna even be remotely possible at this point. Yeah, here's the thing with you knowing where the treasure pod is and being able to see and understand, you know, roughly how close I am to it, because even looking at the map is two-dimensional. So you can see, you know, laterally how close I am to the treasure pod, but vertically it could be, you know, I could still be pretty decently far away from it. But I don't know if it's more tantalizing if the treasure pod is like really far away from where I'm at and it's like, oh man, he's nowhere close to it, or if it's like, oh man, he is right on top of it and he doesn't know. Either way feels, you know, roughly equivalently painful, because I have had the experience with games that I know pretty well, watching someone else play them and not know where things are, and just having to be like, I can't say anything, otherwise I'm just gonna be like, here's where it is, go get it. So it's just like, oh man, I can't say anything, but it's right there. Or the converse, the inverse idea of, oh man, I can't say anything, it's nowhere near where they are. Although in that case I can at least be like, well, maybe if they specifically ask for a hint, I can say, well, at least it's not here, go look somewhere else. Oh yeah, and you're not familiar with this map because you haven't been past Starlight Strand, right? That too. This is kind of interesting though. Like, I've been all over this area. I know the area pretty well by now. So like I know where things are, but you know where the treasure pod is, at least as far as this map is concerned. You know where it is on that map. So it's like you don't know the map, but you know where the treasure pod is. I know the map, but I don't know where the treasure pod is. So we have a direct inverse of knowledge here. Because the thing is, I would use the map and try to judge the density of the circles. But that's not a guarantee because these circles do overlap. And bless, you know what I'm talking about. I sent you the picture. And I think I can pull it up on the stream here too. Like, this is the map. Hold it up here. This is the map. So you see how some sets of yellow circles overlap because laterally the treasure pods are really close to each other, but vertically they're in very different elevations. And a two-dimensional map doesn't reflect elevation differences. So that's where working purely based off of the density of the circles doesn't really guarantee anything, because who knows how close or far away laterally the other treasure pods are going to be. I mean, besides Bless, obviously, because she's going to be my designated hinting helper as soon as it gets to 2 o'clock. Unless we want to just, like, end my suffering now. Or, you know, depending on the hint, potentially amplify it. Because I am out of ideas. I feel like I've looked over the whole map at this point and haven't been able to find it, so I'm kind of out of ideas at this point. So I do enjoy the suffering. We can keep it going for another 19 minutes, but you let me know. Well, it has to be a mutual agreement. If we're in mutual agreement that the suffering is the fun part, then we'll keep it going. Because as long as I'm still smiling, it's still fun, right? Still fun. Oh my gosh, where is this treasure pod? Oh no. Yeah, I think 2 hours will probably be enough for me to be like, no, I don't want to look for this treasure pod anymore. Not without some level of, okay, where am I going, you know? Because it is just, I have no idea where else to look in terms of areas that they would actually expect a player to go. The only other places I could go are places like, I've been up here too. I've been up to these cliffs that aren't really, you know, part of the normal game area. Excited to see how quickly you get it after the vague hint. I guess it'll depend on what your definition of vague is versus mine. I want to make it vague enough that it's like, okay, we still have, you know, an area to explore. It's not just like, go to this place on the map. Have fun figuring out which elevation it's at, because that feels a little too specific. But I think my idea is gonna be, probably for a hint, it'll be like what color is the area that I'm gonna be going to? That kind of thing. Like something that vague. Something where it's like it still gives me a decent amount of space that I need to cover, but at least it narrows down like, okay, it's not in these other 4 places that it could possibly be. Because that's where I'm at right now, is at a total, I am at a total floundering. Try to teach our kids to give hints like when playing headbands. Yeah, something like that. It's like, okay, what color is the area that I need to look in? Like, How would you describe its climate? What temperature is it? Yeah, that kind of thing. Like that kind of weird information. Like that's probably the kind of hint I'm gonna go for, is something that at least we can strike off certain areas so that we're not searching the entirety of the Ember Valley again, you know. Is the color red? It's a parrot. I mean, yes, parrots do have red. Their feathers do have red color. It's not the only color, but it's a color, and that's only certain types of parrots. I mean, that's like the cliche swashbuckling parrot on the shoulder type of parrot. Has the red feathers. I don't know specifically what particular type of parrot that is, but I think it's tropical, right? That's why it's got the bright colors. It's a tropical bird, if I had to guess. Is it a great African macaw? I have no idea. Dude, I have no idea. Exactly, right? Oh man. Oh man. Only 15 more minutes of extended suffering. This music. This music is the perfect music for me to be losing my mind to. Stop! I'm already under enough duress. You don't need to put the volcanic activity on me, dude. Where is this treasure pod? Where are you? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I start penalizing you when I feel like you're really not searching during the next 15 minutes. I'm looking at the cliffs. This is the only place I can think to look anymore. This is the only place that I haven't checked. Please. I need to get up there, but it won't let me. I'll go over here. I can climb up here. Alright, where can I get up? I need to go up here. There we go. But yeah, I'm just gonna start searching the cliffs again because I've already searched down below. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to find the treasure pod up here, but at this point, I can't really count anything out. Nothing can be discounted because I have no idea where it is, so I just have to look around. use my eyes. Try and see. It really does feel super suspicious that this area has nothing marked on my map. I feel like it's gotta be over there. So I'll head back that way because it's just too suspicious. Too suspicious to me. And get my energy back. Need to get my energy back. See it up here. You're suspicious. Thanks, Bless. Appreciate it. No. Here. Whatever, I'll do it over here. Like, this area felt like it might have had some sort of purpose, but like, it's got stuff here that would leave multiple areas that seem like suspiciously is like intentionally designed, but with no treasure pod associated. There's this area that we're in right now. There's the oasis, which I already checked. And then there's this whole ancient ruins area, which feels incredibly suspicious that I haven't found anything over there. That seems like #1 prime candidate for treasure pod hiding. Feels like that would be the place to hide a treasure pod. You're gonna tell me that there's this entire ancient ruins area, this entire, you know, like little island zone, and that there's no treasure pod? It just doesn't seem right to my scavenging brain, my looting brain. My game sense brain is telling me that there is a reason to be here, and that reason involves treasure, and I'm not finding the treasure, and my game sense is being thoroughly messed with a fundamental level. That's where all those, that's where all the chickens are. I've already flown around both of these rocky pillared areas. Never saw anything. Flown around this whole area and not seen anything. Where else is there to check? I guess I'm gonna check this area again because I'm just I can't shake my suspicion of this area. Feels like there should be something here. I don't know why there wouldn't be. Like, I'm surprised there wasn't one up here. Why wouldn't they put one up there? It's like the perfect spot to put one. It's like, it's the spot to put one. So many different areas that would be fantastic candidates for a treasure pod. I don't see any. I don't see no treasure pod. fly around back here again. I don't see any openings. No hidden alcoves or anything. There's nothing down here except for pain and suffering. What else is new with the tar? That's what they're here for. You're here for a bad time, not a long time. Oh well. Get that out of here. The only other thing I could really think, if I take a look at my map again, just pull it up here. Lowest density areas are basically, think about this. Looks like maybe a cave. Maybe, but I feel like those are pretty confined areas and I looked in those pretty darn well. Hope you're enjoying your tea, Bless. Hope you're enjoying your tea. Because you're gonna be spilling the tea to me in just about 5 minutes time here if I can't find this. Where else could I look? Man, I don't really have like a clear idea where it's like, yes, look here, this is the place to look, because I feel like I've already done that multiple times just with this little island area alone. Can you handle the tea? I hope so. I hope so, because I kind of need it. I'm trying to think, where else can I look here? I need to turn the map off. I do have one more spot. One last spot I'll go check. One more area that I can try and check a little more thoroughly and see what kind of results we get. Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars, please. Okay. Let's just get up here and start scouting. I don't see any treasure pods over here. Where else could I look? I'm gonna look at my map again. What else is there that I haven't checked? Where haven't I already been? So weird. It feels like I've been over the whole map, like, several times by now. Clearly I'm still missing some area, because there's still a treasure pod unaccounted for in its entirety. What else on this map could I even look? I haven't already looked. So I'll head back to Fireland for a little bit. Actually, you know what? Hold on. I'm gonna try to take a different approach to this. Not literally take a different approach. This fire area. Go up to the oasis area. Get up here. Decent amount of height. Don't see the glow of any treasure pods that I haven't already found. So I've already gotten that one. I've already gotten that one. I don't see any other ones. You can see the lava dust from here. I can see the lava dust, but I don't see any treasure pods. Other than the ones I already found. That one just popped into existence there. Get out of range of it. It despawns. And then as soon as I get close enough right here, that one spawns back in. Okay, so there's a pretty decent amount of draw distance, but it's not infinite for treasure pods. They do get culled out at some point. Where else? I'm just gonna do a flyover here. See if I can see literally any sign of a treasure pod. Nothing really stood out to me. Already got that one. Where else? Where else? I feel like I'm kind of tapped out on ideas for where to look. I already looked everywhere I could think to look. Not really sure. Okay, let's see. Alright, yeah, I think I am gonna have to, I'm gonna have to cash in the hint on this one. So here's what I'm gonna go for. Here's what I'm gonna ask for vague hint. What color is the area on the map that the treasure pod that you found that's missing on my map is located in? What color is the area? So I'm gonna say like this whole area up here and down here and down here, these are all green. This whole area, this is orange. And I'm gonna say this area, this tidal area, this is brown. And we're gonna call this whole fire area, we're gonna call this purple. So I'm gonna go get some water and I will be right back. Since I'm gonna be getting water, I'm gonna just let Twitch do its ad running thing real quick, because that way we buy ourselves some more time. So what color on the map is the area that I need to be looking for this last treasure pod. I will be right back. We're gonna do a very, very quick break time, and I will be back. Hello everyone, I am back. So, where are we looking, Bless? What color of the map, what color area on the map do I need to be looking in for this last treasure pod? I feel like color should help us narrow it down. Triple dots, that's not a good sign. I guess I would count the caves as gray, but narrows it down a decent amount. Oh, purple. Purple, okay. Thank you. It does give me something to work with, at least. Okay. That definitely narrows down the search quite a bit, so we're looking in this area then. I would assume this area, just to confirm, like that kind of area. So, not counting this little cave up here. Just gonna be looking down here. Okay, thank you, Bless. That will definitely help narrow down the search. All right, purple. So we need to start from the beginning, because I'm not gonna take any of this for granted here. So let me, while I'm regaining energy, let me look at my map and see what I have marked here already, since we've got an area here. As far as density goes, there are some interesting options, but I'm not gonna rely on density, on the density of the circles. Just gonna have to search this area. Oh, I don't like how it centers on me there. Well, I suppose for most practical uses that it makes sense that it would center the camera on your current position. Okay. Let me see here. So here's the thing. I have a tendency to search using height. So I tend to go up to an elevated position and start hovering around. But since I haven't been able to find this final treasure pod that way, I feel like I must be missing something closer to ground level would be my guess. Or at least something that can't easily be seen from above, from that elevated position. So I'm going to bring my search down lower, closer to the ground, not get too crazily elevated. So we've got that treasure pod there. We have the one up on top here. So we have one there, we have one here, and then we have two inside of there. As far as density goes, over in this direction is the least density for treasure pods. I don't know if that's just because this is the edge of the area. Hard to say for sure. Take a quick peek over here. I don't see anything. I don't wanna get in over my head. Cause I don't wanna have to come back here again after having to deal with a bunch of ranch upkeep. Because that will happen if I'm not careful. I'm just gonna check over in this direction again real quick. Just make sure it's not like... I don't see any way to get behind the lava here. Otherwise I would potentially suspect that maybe it was hidden behind the lava ball or something. I don't see it there, so I'm gonna come back down and keep taking a look around here. Okay. See anything there? A little oil. How are you doing on this lovely day? Okay. Not seeing anything there. And we've got this treasure pod over here that I've opened. Marked that. I'm gonna take a look around. Don't want that or that. Where else? Look, we've marked this one. Just double check this little jungly area. See anything here? This information torments my soul. I know the feeling. I know this feeling. I know the feeling of which you speak. It is tormenting, isn't it? It's equally tormenting for me because I want to find it. I want to find the treasure pod. Not being able to find it. Like, we have this one marked too. Like, where have we not already been? Because then I know we've already got this one over here too. We got this one Already marked it on my map and everything. It's fully marked. I'm convinced that height isn't the problem here anymore, because I've already done flyovers of this whole area multiple times. So I've got this feeling that it must just be, like... it must just be tucked away in a crevice somewhere that we just haven't noticed yet. I feel like it's gotta be something that simple, because I am way overthinking it. Hi, excuse me. Where else? Where else? Where else? To keep moving here, otherwise these guys are gonna body slam me. Because we got the one up top already. I'm trying to think of where else in this area there's a location I haven't thought to check. I'm gonna shift my focus over. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. The phone. Phone. Hold it. Hold the phone. How do I get up here? I need more height. I need more height. Hold on. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. The phone. Are you holding the phone? Do you have the phone? Are you holding it in your hand? Holding it in your hand? Because you find... Done. Okay. Fruit slime bait. We got it. I don't blame myself for not finding this one though. That was incredibly well hidden. That was incredibly well hidden, but still not outside of expectable player area. That is well hidden. How many people do you think look up there? Certainly not me. I never looked up there. Clearly. It does kind of match up with the density too. But we finally have it. That's all of the treasure pods. It's 24 out of 24. Releasing all tension. Right? We've done it. It's done. We have them all. It wasn't the market link I was hoping for, but we found them all. It's all the treasure pods. There are no more in early access for us to find. Unless there are any that are unmarked, in which case I'm probably not going to find them. Because just finding the marked ones, the ones that you actually have a counter for, was already enough on its own. Especially with that last one that I actually had to get a hint to even find. I don't know how long I would have not looked up there. That definitely would have taken a while for me to come around to looking up there. That definitely would have taken me a while. 100%. Oh boy, but we've got them all. Got them all now. And we've got the ranch pretty well set up. I'm gonna need to do some upkeep on this place later. But that's that. We've done it. We've got all of the treasure pods now. It's done. We did the thing that we set out to do, and that took how long? Yeah, that took about 2 hours. That took about 2 hours. Just that in itself. Oh boy. Oh man, okay.